Hey guys, men's dating coach HarryWilmington here, founder of introvertdatingsuccess.com. And on today's show, I want to talk to you about the power of your dating mindset. And I'm going to be telling you guys a story that I saw on Facebook of a guy that was able to hit on his neighbor and have an awesome night of passion with her, all because of the way that he's repositioned his dating mindset. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit that subscribe button and the bell icon to be notified of when I post up new videos. Well, guys, it's February, which means Valentine's Day is fast approaching. And if you're a guy that is single, this is like the worst time of year. And so in order to help supplement that and get you guys educated on ways to be a better dater, I have a bunch of awesome free stuff at the website right now, various opt-ins on I have one called the Girlfriend Roadmap checklist, which teaches you the ins and outs of how to go from dating a girl to making her the girlfriend. I got another opt-in about kind of dates you can do during quarantine, during this time in our lives and with all the pandemic stuff going on. But I recognize that none of the tips that you're going to get from me or anybody else is going to help you if you do not have the right mindset, because ultimately how you think about yourself, how you think about women, and how you think about dating is going to have a huge impact on your success as a dater. And so to that end, I've created a new 5-day mini course that's called Modify Your Mindset. And so before I get into what that actually is, and I'll get into that more towards the end of the program, I want to give you a story that I saw on Facebook that actually correlates with this program I just created. And it's a story of a guy that he posted on Facebook, simply the story, and the story is titled, How I Went Out with a Gorgeous Yoga Instructor from My Neighborhood Just by Saying Hello. And what I liked in the story was that he mentioned the way his mindset was before when he used to think about women and dating and how it is now, and how that resulted in him being able to be fearless in his attempt to approach this neighbor of his that was really hot, okay? So I'm gonna just go ahead and get into this, and I'll talk more about the mini course, which by the way is a free mini course for you guys. I'll talk to you about where you can get it later towards the end of this video. So anyway, here's how the story goes. So he says, here's the pretense for the story. He says, I felt really tired and out of it from working all day on a screen. So leaving my house for any reason had me feeling like my precious creature from Lord of the Rings. That's funny. But I knew I needed to get some fresh air, so I went for a walk around my neighborhood. As I was walking, I saw her, a stunning, fit-looking brunette, walking her dog, crossing the street towards me. My nervousness immediately started creeping in. I just left my house and was on autopilot from working all day, so talking to anyone, let alone an attractive girl, was out of my realm. So these are the thoughts he had. The thoughts he had was, wait, I'm not ready. This is too out of the blue. I'm too in my head. I need to get out first. I was at home all day. What if I'm boring? Old conditioned thought patterns and habits attempted to enslave my natural instincts, a tricky illusion that one can easily fall for if remained in an unconscious state. So up to this point, what is he saying? He's saying that he went out of his house, he saw this girl, and his first immediate thoughts were ones that were going to prevent him from connecting with this woman. He's saying he's scared. He's saying he's not ready. It's too soon. What if I'm boring? He's having all these negative thoughts about this interaction. And I wanted to tell you guys something very, very important, okay? No matter how good you get at dating, no matter how many things you've read, no matter how many times you've practiced techniques, even somebody like me who's been dating for years and years and has gotten into relationships and has been successful dating, still has these kind of thoughts when seeing a new girl out. The difference is over time, I've just either A, learned to ignore those things, and also I've really studied up on what those thoughts actually mean. I've been able to recognize them as just simple thoughts that don't actually geared towards the reality of the situation, which is that I don't know if this girl currently is attracted or not. And even though these thoughts are there, I'm still not dissuaded from then pursuing the woman that I want to get, okay? But understand, this guy has these thoughts now, even though, as you're going to see in the story, he ultimately went through with what he needed to do to be successful. So he says, I wasn't going to fall for it. The old me used to, but that man is dead. I locked eyes with her. She locked eyes back. Hi. She knew. I knew why I'm here. It's never the words, but what they mean. So this is very, very important. So notice he goes through the thing where he says, even though he recognizes all this old stuff in his head, he was not going to be tricked by his mental state. He wasn't going to let his mindset or what his previous mindset would have been trick him out of whatever his new mindset is to have the courage to go forth and just say hi to the woman. All right? Very important. Continuing on, he says to her, you strike me as a yoga instructor. She says, I am. What? How did you know? Ha, ha, ha. Him. The confident vibe and yoga outfit, just a guess. Her. Oh, thank you. How was your day? We just talked normally. No crazy pickup lines, no forcing rapport, no trying to be anything. And this is what I teach you guys a lot of times, that many times we'll think that we need to have a particular line in order to get a woman to open up to us. And that is really the case. Now, when you go to my website, I have a lot of materials there that'll teach you guys what I call templated things, meaning these are some templates that you can use in order to come up with this particular kind of conversation or this kind of reaction. But it's never anything that's specific. And the reason that is because ultimately you got to be yourself. And you need to be comfortable in yourself enough to be able to talk to a woman and not think that you're faking it. But that said, this guy knew going in that if he said hi, he could think of something else after that to say to her that's going to continue the conversation. And it's very important to have the ability to do that. But part of that comes from having the mindset that you're going to have the ability to even have the conversation. Because you can't go in there thinking, I'm going to be boring, I'm going to be dull, and oh my gosh, she's going to hate me, this and that, because that's going to be all negative stuff that's going to push you back and prevent you from making the steps to connect with somebody that could have actually been a girl that would have connected with you. My anxiety slowly started melting away as I kept talking to her, sinking into the moment and allowing attraction to happen, not making it happen. And that's very true. I found for myself back in the day when I was nervous about talking to women that if I was able to actually go in there with some kind of opener and actually say something, then the conversation as it was going and developing, I got less nervous because we're having a real conversation versus me having to think of like some kind of fake thing that I think is going to keep her interested, okay? And so those real conversations, especially if you're an introvert, having a real conversation with somebody will get you out of the mindset of, I got to impress this person, and you'll just focus on the conversation at hand. Continuing on. So he says, turns out she lives a block away from me. We exchanged numbers, hug goodbye, and I text her what she's up to that night. She was just watching a horror movie and hanging out at home, and I told her, I'm going for a night walk. If you're not too spooked, you're welcome to join. She agrees and walks to my house. So now what's this guy doing? He met the girl, he talked to her, he's having a good time, and then at that point he's like, you know what? I'm going to shoot my shot. She seems to be available right now. I might as well go for the date right now. And that's very, very important because sometimes guys they'll approach a girl, they'll talk, and then they'll just kind of go away. They won't get the number, and then they won't hit her up for a date. Now, I typically tell you guys you want to get the number, then you want to kind of wait. This is a situation, though, this is more advanced technique stuff where he's like, look, I already know she's free, and she's in my neighborhood, so we're having a good vibe. I can shoot my shot for a date now. If you're doing an approach on a woman, and you're finding that now is a good time for you and her to be able to do something, it's not a bad thing to ask. The worst thing she could have said is like, oh, you know what, I'm busy tonight, but some other time, but he got to ask. So either way, he's either going to get a date now, or she's going to, if she likes him, she's going to respond and say, I can't do it now, but what about later? Either way, he's getting a date. He asked, okay? And some of you guys are just held up by the idea of even asking. Like you're waiting for her to do it, or you're too nervous, or thinking you're in your head again about the mindset of like, I'm not really good enough for this person. Keep in mind, yoga instructor, yoga pants, she's fit, she's attractive. He could have been like, well, yeah, she talked to me, but you know, she just probably is just doing that to pity me, and she wouldn't really go with a guy like me. That kind of mindset's going to hold you back, all right? Continuing on. We go for a walk, and I ask her which movie did she watch, and just kept talking. We walk back to her place, chill by her front porch for a bit. We've been hanging out now for 1 or 2 hours, and I see that she is cold. I joke, I can't tell if you're shivering because you're cold or spooked. Her, oh, ha, ha, very funny. This time I'm just cold. I put my arm around her a bit. She leans in. I look at her, and then she looks at me. I just go for it, and then go back to talking. All right, so let me ask you a question. What kind of mindset and mentality does this guy have with this girl right now? Is he a guy that is nervous? Is he a guy that's scared? Is he a guy that's holding back because he's too afraid of like how she's going to react to him? Or is he being a guy that's like, you know what? My mindset is I'm going to go in for this, and until she says stop, I'm going to do the best I can to show that I like her and make the moves that show that I'm also physically attracted to her. And what are the results that he's getting? She is responding positively to everything he's doing. And all he did was stack up on these various positive reactions. He said hi, she responded. He started a conversation, she talked to him. He asked for the number, she gave it. He asked her out, she said yes. They went for a walk, they got back, and they were having a good time. He went in for a kiss. She did not turn her cheek. She let it happen and then kept on talking to him, okay? But this all goes back to he has a mindset of I'm going to try. And I'm going to do, and I'm going to see what the results are that I get, versus being in his head and thinking, this woman's going to be like all the others, and she's just leading me on. She's going to say she just wants to be friends, and all these negative things. And you got to ask yourself, guy, if you're not having the success that you want right now, could part of that be because you're not making these moves because your mindset is holding you back and making you think that women are going to react negatively to you. Something to consider. Continuing on, he says, let's see, okay. We talk about her past and where she grew up, then back to shows again. And I mentioned we can go inside and watch something. And she says, I just met you. I just looked at her and I shrug. And she says, okay, screw it, but no funny business, mister. So this is where a lot of guys will get spooked also. At the point where he says, hey, let's go inside, and that's a very, very bold move for him to make this early on, her first response is, I don't know. And at that point, what's a lot of guys' mindset going to be? Oh, see, I knew I was being too forward. She doesn't really want to do anything. I'm coming on too strong. Now I'm just a friend, yada, yada, yada. But he didn't think that way. And because he didn't think that way, he was able to allow her response to not bug him. He just kind of went like, okay, whatever. And then that made her go back and think, wait, he's not trying to push me to do this thing, but now maybe so it's my choice. So now maybe I want to do it after all. And that all goes back to his mindset about this, which is, hey, you know what? Whatever happens, happens. I'm having a good time either way. I understand if you don't want to let me in because, we're new to each other, so I'm not going to push you at all to do that. But hey, just so you know, I can go with whatever. And that's a really powerful mindset to have, okay? But changing your mind and the way you view dating to be able to get to that point, it can be very, very hard. And I'm going to talk more about the program at the end that's going to help you with that. But continuing on, so he says, I'm not attached to any outcome, which I tell you guys all the time, do not be attached to outcomes. He says, I'm not attached to any outcome. I'm just enjoying our connection. Nothing is a big deal. We hang out on her couch and talk some more, showing genuine interest in why she chose to be a yoga instructor, that I like girls who are fit, maybe she should train me, etc. She is doing a lot of the talking, and I'm just listening with eye contact. Another moment of silence again, and then we just go for it. Insane chemistry and an amazing night. So, after all that, he went with the flow. He was looking at her on the couch. He's letting her do most of the talking because women bond through talking. And a lot of guys make the mistake of they want to be the ones to over talk on these dates. But in the process, you're actually cutting off her chance at being attracted to you because you're not letting her talk. So you really want to let a woman talk and get a lot of things out. And the more that they're talking, the more they like you and the more they feel comfortable with you. And as you're building that comfortability, you're going to be able to get the results that he got, which is they're making out on the couch and then other stuff happens and it was a fun night. All right. And he finishes, he says, so many lessons here. I'm writing this because this is what can happen even in a pandemic, even if you're in your head, nervous, etc. I hope this inspires you. So all this happened in the midst of a pandemic, meets a girl he's never talked to before, and within the span of a few hours, they're making out and hooking up at her place, okay? So ask yourself this question. Could this be you? Right now, the way that your brain is set up to think about dating and think about women, would this be a situation where you'd be able to make this happen? And if not, why? What is holding you back from having this kind of success? And I know from my history of dating, I've been able to do this as well, where I'm able to meet a girl at a party or through online dating, and on that first night, within the span of a few hours, already having the kind of passionate intimacy that a lot of guys are spending a lot of time with a lot of women trying to get and not getting those results. But I'm able to get those results now because I've done a lot of work over time on how I thought about dating, about how I thought about women, how I thought about attraction, the way I wanted it to work versus the way it actually works. And if you're not able to be in the right state of mind for dating, then you're not going to be able to get these results and you're going to continue to be frustrated. And some of those things in your mindset are things that are negative thoughts about women simply because you don't understand how female attraction works. And I want to help you get out of that mindset. So if you would like me to guide you in that situation, I have good news for you. I now have a free 5-day mini course that's called Modify Your Mindset. And this is a 5-day course that is designed to help you look at some of the things that are maybe negative thoughts in your head about dating or about women or whatever, and help you see it from a different perspective so you're able to basically reboot your mind to rethink about the way that dating actually works and then get some real results, okay? And so if you go to introvertdatingsuccess.com modify your mindset, you'll be able to see the page where you can opt in to this free 5-day email audio course. And in each of those 5 days, you'll get a brand new audio whereby you'll get to learn about different ways that you can think about dating. You'll actually, there's a couple of audios in there where I do interviews with other dating gurus that talk about how to have better social skills with women, as well as learning the way in which women actually view dating and how they view you when you come to talk to them and approach them, what they're really wanting from you, the kind of signals that they show to you in order to show that they're interested without really verbally saying it, and a bunch of other things about the way that you're thinking about dating that are going to be able to shift because your mind's going to be modified. You're going to be able to start renewed and refreshed in the way that you're thinking about dating, and you're going to be able to have the kind of results that me and that this guy are able to get simply by being in the right frame of mind. So once again, introvertdatingsuccess.com/modify your mindset. Go there, opt into the program, and start learning today for free the ways to change your mind. And by the way, I'm probably not going to have this thing be free for a long time because this is some audio that it's powerful stuff. I put a lot of thought and effort and time into these audios. Like the total time for this whole mini course is probably gonna be close to 2 or 3 hours, but you're gonna get some really gold nuggets in there that are gonna help you in this new year. So again, if you're a guy that's gonna be sitting alone on Valentine's Day and you're wishing that you had somebody and you just don't know what it is you're doing wrong or why is it that you're not getting the results that you want, and you're thinking maybe it could possibly be because how you view dating is possibly causing you to have bad results, then don't have next year be that Valentine's Day for you. This Valentine's Day, get your mind right, get your focus right, so you can start going out there and getting positive results and eventually getting a girl that's going to want to stick with you. So then next Valentine's Day, you'll be all lovey-doveyed up and you'll never have to worry about being single or the threat of being single ever again. Thank you for watching this episode of the Introvert Dating Success Show. If you found the info in this episode to be helpful, please show your support by clicking on the tip jar tab, the link of which can be found at the website and in the description below. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and comment on this episode and catch new episodes every Monday and Thursday right here on my YouTube channel or wherever podcasts can be found. In the meantime, be sure to check out some other episodes so you too can date as your introverted self while still getting your precious alone time. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.